go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked?
Dr. Kirk, I do think that works. How about you?
Me too. I have been on a stage with Sean at one of his immersions and taken way out of my comfort zone. So I do think it works.
I definitely think it works. And Dr. Kirk, we lost video on you. So I'm not sure what. There you go. Now we see your handsome face.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So let's, shall we get to it? I want to welcome everyone.
I saw Jeremy's chat. So
what's
Bella,
that?
Between, I think it's a Jeremy question as a blind person. I'm going to ask the same question. So, but there's a couple beats of silence after the applause. And then Sean says, do you think that worked? So what's going on during the couple beats of silence?
Yeah, that's what I put in the chat. I've always wondered.
Oh, your audio is all crackly again, Jeremy. I think he's like looking around. I like when he goes like, do you think that works? And then there's like that, like he's like, because that's a speaking engagement. And so he's speaking to an audience, and that's a clip from it. And so I think he's like looking at the audience.
Okay.
Yes. So there you go. And I'll have to pay closer attention, but I'm pretty sure that's the moment that you're talking about. But let's get to it. Welcome everyone to the Heart of Supplier Diversity, Heart of Influence with Dr. Kirk Adams. And first, coming from Rochester Hills, Michigan, a master's degree in structural design and 2 patents for performance technologies, including 1 for the advanced intelligence augmentation, enabling workers to perform operations by following verbal instructions, delivering step-by-step, hands-free, globally in any language. Also a CEO and inventor helping people with memory, vision, intention, and other disabilities to become employed and stay employed longer. Let's welcome to the show, Bill Croce. Hello, Bill. Welcome to the Heart of Influence. Now, this is that like test space where we're going to test what your fun fact is. Your fun fact, Bill, could be anything that you're proud of. anything extraordinary that you've done, or just anything that you want someone to hear to know about you. So, Bill, what is your fun fact?
I have a daughter who is a former CIA operative / spy.
Whoa. That is now,
How's that?
are you like allowed to say that publicly, or you said used to, so she's no longer, so now you're able to say that?
She's no longer a spy, and if you go to the International Spy Museum in Washington, D.C., you'll see her featured in 2 exhibits there, and you might even catch her speaking at one of the engagements they have.
Now, Bill, that is a very cool, fun fact. I am sure you've heard some very interesting stories from your daughter. Hopefully she didn't have to come find anyone that I know. But Bill, are you ready to have some fun on Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence?
Yes.
If you're looking for anyone, call Bill. Maybe his daughter can find him, maybe not. But Bill, let's have some fun. Next up, coming from North Carolina, licensed contractor since 1997, turned real estate investor in 2009 after the market crash. Served in ministry by bringing the word of the gospel and building wells in 3 continents. Focused in Dominican Republic, currently developing a 7.5-acre hydroponic farming operation to house and sustain 20 families, educate and train the children to produce fish, fruits, vegetables for market. Let's welcome to the show, Tom Temple.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
So, fun fact, I'm a semi-avid bow hunter that I've taken kids and adults hunting, first-time hunting trips, and just share time around campfire, get to know people, and relate to them on a deeper level out in the woods.
That is extraordinary. And by bow hunter, you mean like bow and arrow? You're like shooting with the bow.
That's exactly what I mean. Yes.
Whoa, that is exciting. Tom, I am not going to get in the way of your targets. But Dr. Kirk Adams may be a target for you today. We'll see when we jump into the role plays. But Tom, are you ready to have some fun?
Sure, absolutely.
Awesome. Welcome to the Heart of Influence. That is absolutely extraordinary. And next up, from Washington, D.C., achieved an MBA while building a military career, started suffering symptoms of Crohn's while serving as an Army officer in Afghanistan. Thank you for your service. After suffering from being diagnosed with multiple disorders and diseases, now chairing a service council to help disabled individuals serve various jobs in the Navy. Began a podcast a year ago and has been taking part in Virginia State Rehab Council, working with disability organizations in surrounding areas. Let's welcome to the show, Brandy Schatz. Brandy, first off, thank you for your service. Sounds like quite a career. And what is your fun fact?
Well, my fun fact is I signed up for my very first triathlon in the 70.3 distance, so a half Ironman distance. I did not own a bike, and I had yet to learn how to swim properly. And I learned the hard way that I panicked in water.
Well, and you figured out how to swim at that point.
It was, I guess that's kind of part 2 of the fun fact. My coach that I hired convinced me to do an Olympic distance triathlon on my way to the half Iron. And so I showed up, got in the water, started panicking, flipped onto my back because a teammate had told me, if you start to panic, just flip on your back. Took me forever to get out of the lake. I was the last one out. And I didn't quit though. And I just, panicked so much that I just started flying. And I got off the bike, jumped into the run, never stopped for water, finished the race, got my husband to help me get my bike in the car and leave. And that's when I got a phone call from a friend asking me where I was, where are you? And I said, well, no, I'm never coming back. I'm not doing triathlon no more. And she said, but they're calling your name. And I thought, well, why did I, am I now banned from triathlon because of that? And she said, no, you got third place.
Wow.
So I decided to try it one more time.
Adventurer, possibilitarian, overcomer, and achiever. That's what I'm hearing, Brandy. That is extraordinary. From no triathlons, like leaving triathlons, to medaling in triathlons. That is extraordinary. And Brandy, are you ready to have some fun?
I sure am.
All right, let's do it. From Sedona, Arizona, CEO of a groundbreaking clothing adaptive product company dedicated to serving the blind community. A blind outdoorsman was inspired to create innovative solutions while he realized the limitations of existing mobility that canes can offer for the outdoors activities. Invented a strong, lightweight titanium cane, global attention and enthusiasm, revolutionizing mobility options for the blind individuals worldwide. Welcome to the show, Sedona Dave Epstein. So to get that correctly is
now's your time to reveal
and cane.
Now is the time for you to reveal your dyslexia.
Yes, yes. I did not mention that in the green room. I do struggle with a little bit of dyslexia, and sometimes when my teammate writes out these bios and they don't make sense to me, I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. But Dave, my understanding, clothes and canes.
You are correct. Absolutely. Werewolf Gear did start with a line of clothing for the blind, low vision community. Then I dove right into the outdoors with a supportive mobility cane for hiking. And then secondly, an amazing supportive mobility cane for the urban environment, the urban jungle. Yes, you are correct. Fun fact for me is that my interesting series of careers took me from being a scuba instructor in the Cayman Islands to my next career being a wildland firefighter in the Pacific Northwest. Bit of a dichotomy, quite a ride.
That is quite a ride.
Is scuba diving in Grand Cayman right now, Dave.
Yes, Sean is a blind scuba diver. In this very moment, because I spoke to him before the Heart of Influence, he is going scuba diving with his son in the Caymans. They went yesterday and they are down under today in this very moment, Dave.
It's a small world. Fascinating. Wish I were his buddy. Just saying. Wish I were his buddy.
I don't blame you. And I might have a corollary fun fact in a moment, but Dave, that is extraordinary. Thank you for your service to the blind community. I know as being, as a partner of a blind person who is quite adventurous, a surfer, skier, scuba diver, anything that you can do to help the blind community get out there and get adventurous is definitely helpful. So thank you for what you do. And are you ready to have some fun?
Let's party.
All right, let's party. From Northern Virginia, extensive background working with corporate, nonprofit, and government agencies on initiatives that increase the bottom line. Passionate about inclusivity, the current VP of Business Development for Leader in Holistic Approach to Digital Accessibility. Focus on building partnerships, helping companies increase clients and their visibility, ensuring their digital assets engage all people in their work. Let's welcome to the show, Jeremy Grandstaff. Let's hope we can hear you good, Jeremy.
Can you hear me, or do I need to fix it?
You're good. Hear you.
I'm good. Excellent. Beautiful. Glad to hear. So excited to be here. Thanks again to Dr. Kirk for his invitation, and Bella, anytime I can be in the room with you and get to be with your pretty face, I'm excited about that.
Well,
that's coming from a blind guy, so I don't know how you want to take that, right? So
I'll still receive it. I'll still receive it.
So my fun fact, and I never know what to share on these because I feel like I work too much, and so I tend to pull from that. But my fun fact is that I love parasailing. As a blind guy, I can't see a damn thing. I'm sorry, I can't see a darn thing when I'm on, up in the air. But what I love about it are two things. One, I can actually hear the people that are playing in the ocean down below, right? When we're going down. And then the other piece that I love, if I go by myself, if I go with my partner, he ends up yelling at me the whole time about how much he hates it, right? So, but if I go by myself, it's the most peaceful experience in my entire life, and I just love that.
Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Jeremy, I'm hearing the love and passion for the parasailing. That is a beautiful thing. And I know you're ready to have some fun on Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence today. And speaking of,
and Jeremy, you're fading again, by the way.
Yeah.
You're into static.
And speaking of this 00 secret agent that brought us all here together today from Seattle, Washington, 16 years as the president of the Lighthouse for the Blind, and another 6 as the president of the American Foundation for the Blind, a PhD in leadership and change, the managing director for the Innovative Impact LLC, engaging in fun, innovative, high impact projects dedicated to making the world a more inclusive and equitable place. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Kirk Adams. So, Dr. Kirk, before we get to your fun fact, I would love for you to share, because sometimes I do this in the green room, didn't have a chance today.
Okay.
But it takes a lot of energy and effort to bring a group of human beings together so that they can meet each other. Yes. And a high level of influence to cause the yeses, to cause these extraordinary people together to be here together today. And so my question for you is why? Why bring these folks here together today?
I was at a conference last week and I heard someone say, who had a severe disability, that they were striving to become the person that they needed when they were a child but didn't have. And that has just resonated with me. And that's what I want to do. I want to make it easier for kids with disabilities who are going to grow up and go to school and then want to go to work and have a family and go scuba dive in the Grand Caymans. And there are so many barriers in our way. And it takes a big village. And that's what I want to do. I want to create a really big village along with you, Bella and Unblinded, and have everyone that I can get around the campfire in the warmth and the glow, and bring everyone else in. And this is a great way to accelerate that. My Heart of Influence every month. I've done it for years now.
Yeah.
And I just keep bringing together groups of people in a manageable number that I think should know one another, that I think could help one another along the way. Collectively, we're going to change the world.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And you definitely outdid yourself today with these growth-minded, heart-centered individuals today. And Dr. Kirk, what is your fun fact?
My fun fact is that I hiked a rugged desert trail outside of Sedona, Arizona as a totally blind person without a sighted guide to a cave with Indian petroglyphs, and heard a lecture by a national park ranger talking about how the petroglyphs tied in with the Native American culture and the geography. And I accomplished that by using Dave Epstein's all-terrain cane.
Wow.
That was an epic adventure. That was awesome.
It was an adventure.
That is cool. I'm going to have to get one of those and take Sean hiking. That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, Dr.
I will say at one point, my beautiful bride Roz was trailing me about 20 feet behind me, and I said, I don't need a sighted guide. I'm using this all-terrain cane. And she said, just to let you know, at one point you were about 4 feet away from about an 80-foot sheer cliff to your right. So I said, okay, that's why I use the cane.
That's why you use the cane. That
That's
is awesome.
Can I take a shot at introducing you, Bella Verita?
Please.
Okay. At age 8, Bella started her entrepreneurial journey by selling her homemade crafts in her front yard. She became, in the state of Nevada, the youngest person and first female person at the ripe old age of 24 to become the leading business broker in the state of Nevada, a feat she accomplished more than once. Exiting high school with a robust 1.7 GPA, she is now a multi-time published author, a leader of Unblinded, a cancer survivor, and she became introduced to Unblinded the same way you are being. She was invited to a Heart of Influence some years ago, and here she is.
Oh,
What's
well,
your fun
Dr.
fact,
Kirk,
Bella?
that
We need a pause. Bella Verita.
That was fantastic, Kurt. I will have you know, Dr. Kurt, because Jay Levine did the introduction yesterday. I think Jay Levine's been here a little bit longer than you, and you did a much better job. You remembered a lot more facts than Jay Levine did. So great job, Dr. Kirk. And yes, I did graduate high school with a 1.7 GPA because I was severely dyslexic and school is very challenging. But then I went on to ministerial school, which I'm in ministerial school now, and I have a 4.0 GPA. So super proud of that. However, my fun fact is I did learn to surf, ski, and scuba dive from a blind man. And just 2 weeks ago, we went scuba diving 14 times in Grand Cayman. 3 of those dives, we had taken a helicopter from Grand Cayman to Little Cayman and did 3 nitroxide dives in Grand Cayman, where I might have gone to like 120 feet ish. I know. That might have happened, but that is Dave's shaking. Dave, tell everybody why you are shaking your head.
Not on nitrox, please.
So that is my fun facts for today. So thank you all for being here. And Dr. Kirk, shall we get this party started?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we've had a little bit of fun. We've made some introductions. Now it's time to get down to serious business. Bill, Tom, you've been chosen in the participant seat. So what this is going to look like today is you're going to have the opportunity to role play with Dr. Kirk, because all business is built on shared experiences, and all business is built on the ability to get yes and cause yes. And so today, Dr. Kirk will be anybody you want him to be that is a meaningful yes that you are seeking in the world. He could be an ideal client. He could be a philanthropic partner. He could be someone you want to help come dig wells in the Dominican Republic. He'll be anyone that you want him to be that is a meaningful yes that you are seeking in the world. So Dr. Kirk, who shall we start with today, Tom or Bill?
Let's go alphabetical. Let's go Bill.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Bill, you get to kick us off. You are the chosen one, my friend. And so who would you like Dr. Kirk to be?
I would like Dr. Kirk to be Dr. Kirk if he can be that.
Dr. Kirk, are you up for playing the extraordinary, amazing, well-educated, well-spoken impact leader, Dr. Kirk Adams? Do you think you can handle that?
I do it 24/7. I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, take us in.
Ring, ring. Hello.
Hi, Dr. Kirk. This is Bill. How are you?
I'm well. And yourself?
I'm better than well because I'm looking forward to a European trip.
Wonderful. Well, I saw the meeting on the agenda my assistant put together, and honestly, I've got 3 minutes before my next call, but I'm glad to give you my undivided attention for those 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, let's talk about how we might help each other. What I've done over my career is I found a way to help people, certain people with certain disabilities, to be able to perform SOPs, standard operating procedures, that they may not have learned through a training class. They may never have performed before in their lives, but they can still perform perfectly, whether sighted or not, simply by following verbal step-by-step instructions. And we keep track of how long it takes people to perform each one of those steps. So that data can then be used to identify ways to improve that person's performance. So let's say you don't know how to make something in a restaurant, whether you're a bartender or a cook, and but you have the basic skills to be a bartender or a cook, but you just need the instructions on how to make a certain recipe. What we can do is give you those directions step by step. We can make sure that you don't miss any step, that you don't perform any step out of sequence. And then by capturing the time that it takes you to perform the steps, we can tell you when it appears that you've performed a step too fast, maybe that you've missed a step. And then in the end, we can look at that data and talk to you about how your performance might improve. And then we can get information from you on how you think you could improve that performance, not just by your own abilities or the SOP, but also all the supportive things that you need. Do you have the right equipment that you need to do the job? Do you have the right materials?
Bill, let me ask you a quick question. I know it's super limited time, and I know you know my passion is employment of people with disabilities, and that's why I took the call, because you said you had some solutions that could help me accelerate inclusion of people with disabilities. So three areas I'm involved in: cybersecurity, digital health, advanced manufacturing. Do you have any use cases in any of those spaces where your technology's been put to good use?
Oh, I don't. That's usually the first question that people ask me. So I'd sure love to help to work with you to do that.
Okay, so this is a concept. It's proven, but it hasn't been implemented yet.
It's more than a concept. It's a technology that works 100%, does not need to be improved per se to make it work. So it's ready to go whenever you are.
So we need to find a place to for practical application.
That would work.
What do you suggest as a next step? I need, like I said, I need to run, but what should we do next?
What usually happens with me is I usually have to think about what it was that I learned about. And usually in the next morning, I come up with some ideas on how I might be able to use that technology, and then I can get back with the person. So
Okay,
usually
we need to set up a longer call to dig into some detail.
probably need to give you some time to think about it and then follow up from there.
Beautiful. Great job, Bill. Great job, Dr. Kirk. I think he's going to be thinking about some things, and maybe you're going to be circling around. Is this what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I'm ready to have a second meeting and explore some possible scenarios where we can put Bill's impactful technology to a practical use. Excited about it.
That sounds like you got that. Yes, Bill. Sounds like Dr. Kirk is ready to move forward. And so we'll get to the feedbackers in just a moment. Great job, Bill. Great job, Dr. Kirk. And Tom, who would you like Dr. Kirk to be?
Let's let Dr. Kirk be Dr. Kirk, but as the CEO of a major company, maybe a Fortune 500 company, not necessarily his own.
Okay.
So, Dr. Kirk, you are the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Anything specific that company does, Tom, or they can do anything?
They can do anything. They just a profitable, say top tier company.
I want to be Satya Nadella of Microsoft. Please.
There you go.
Thank you.
Satya of Microsoft, take us in, Dr. Kirk.
Hello, this is Satya.
Hello, this is Tom Temple. Thank you for taking my call today.
Absolutely. I saw it on my calendar and very intrigued by the few notes I have here. My time is, as you can guess, very limited, but I will give you my undivided attention for the 3 minutes that we have.
Okay, well, thank you. I see from your mission statement that you're a company who believes in, has values of integrity and structured benevolence. And if you don't mind, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what we do at my company.
Please.
I'm the head of a Christian charitable organization. We put in clean water wells, homes for the underprivileged, underserved, persecuted of the world. We teach people skills to provide for themselves, farming, and education, and provide feeding programs. But one of the things that I think sets us apart from other charitable organizations, which are really a dime a dozen now, is that we've recognized that throwing money at a problem doesn't solve the problem. It just prolongs it, and in some cases even becomes an enablement. That in order to bring people out of the position that they're in, it requires a heart change and a mindset change. Our biggest focus
tell me
is
about enablement. Tell me about enablement.
Well, for instance, we'll have people in regions of countries, and I'm doing a project currently in the Dominican Republic. We can go and feed people in the Dominican Republic and feed them forever. And once we start feeding them this week, we'll never stop feeding them if that's all we do. But we feed people as a means of getting in the door, revealing our compassion for people, revealing our heart for people. But we don't stop there. We only start there. And we will equip and train people, show them their value, their identity, that they have purpose in life, and teach them life skills and marketable trades where they can go out and learn to make an income and rise not only themselves, but their families out of situations of poverty. So without this teaching and training, we're really missing a huge step because we're creating a system where we just have to give a handout on top of a handout. But if we can give a handout initially to help you bridge the gap, and then teach and train and equip you to become self-sufficient, now we've changed your life forever.
Well, you know, at Microsoft, our mission is to empower every person on the planet. So what you're saying resonates nicely with me.
Well, what I'd like to do, if this touches you and you think we might could find a place of congruency and possibly work together, is sometime in the next couple of weeks, maybe we set up a longer meeting and we can sit down and talk about some details of how you and I could get involved, and maybe I can promote your brand and enhance your company has identity in the space. And we're not looking for credit. You can wear the feather. We'll put your name on a project, but our biggest goal is to help people and make the world a better place.
Well, get in touch with my assistant, and she'll bring in our head of corporate responsibility, and I'll give you an opportunity to speak to them. And I really appreciate you reaching out and your succinct description of your project. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Oops. Great job, Tom. Great job, Dr. Kirk. Dr. Kirk was super excited about playing that CEO of Microsoft, so that was awesome.
Yeah, we're right across the lake here in Seattle from Redmond, Washington, and Microsoft casts a big shadow here in town. So it was fun to be Satya Nadella for 3 minutes.
That is awesome. Well, great job, Dr. Kirk and Jeremy, of course. And so judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. So it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Bill or Tom, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and a little scoring system of what that next step is. So is that next step you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Bill or Tom? Bill's like, oh, no. Or no, that was Tom. I was like, no, I don't think anyone's going to need a root canal today. They both did a fantastic job. So maybe that next step is a little private room at the Capitol Grill with the nice juicy steak and a seafood tower. Unless you're vegan, of course, maybe you're having like salad and French fries, but you're not going to skip out on dessert because you definitely want to have the longest meeting possible. And if that's not enough time, you would be willing to pick up a private jet. Of course, stop and pick up Dr. Kirk and fly anywhere in the world just to have a longer meeting with Bill or Tom. And so, Dave, let's kick this off with you. And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Tom? I mean, for Bill.
Excellent. 30 seconds on Bill. I was very interested in the direction he was going. I wanted more of the nitty gritty of his project, of his vision, so to speak. I definitely want to have another seat down with him. We'll go to the Capitol Grill. I'll pick it up, and over a porterhouse. Tell me more. I'm all ears. And if I could do a corporate jet, sister, I'm on board. Let's find some sponsors, and I'll fly any. The flight alone will be worth the trip. Sitting down and chatting more about his project. Yeah.
There you go. Definitely an extraordinary project indeed. So thank you for that, Dave. And let's go, Brandy. Brandy, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Tom?
Yeah, I was very interested in what he had to say and what his programs about his business is about. I wanted to learn more about, some past success stories, just, what do these success stories look like? What has he done? How has he changed a life? I think it was a really, compelling presentation of the business for certain.
Beautiful. And so what's the next steps with Tom, Brandy? We have a little coffee, little porterhouse, private jet.
Well, if I can have a private jet, I'll take the private jet, of course. If I'm paying, maybe we'll have the porterhouse at the Capitol Grill. We do go there quite a bit. But yeah, no, definitely I wanted to learn more.
Awesome. Well, great job. Thank you for that, Brandy. And then let's go, Jeremy. Jeremy, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Tom?
Excellent. Can you hear me better now?
We can hear you great.
Okay. Sorry, I'm in the thing twice, but we got that fixed. So, Tom, I really love your tools, your products. You've got the goods, right, to be able to bring into the conversation. So my recommendations to you is you come up with 2 to 3 questions that you can ask, at least 1 or 2 in a 3-minute conversation that's going to make it about him and you better understanding the person you're talking to. And since I only have 30 seconds, I will just say use questions of curiosity, and what you'll see is in that last minute, you can actually use his own wording of the answers to the questions in order to get him to say, yes, I want to talk to you more about these products.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. And Jeremy, what is the next steps with Tom?
Well, I love the product. So we're going on a jet plane, all expenses paid by Bella. And no, I'm kidding. I definitely, if it was me, I'd do the jet plane with the Capitol Grill being delivered at the tarmac before we leave.
Now you're talking, Jeremy. Now you're talking. That's the way to do it. I don't think anybody said that on the show before, but I love that idea. Let's have the Capitol Grill delivered to the private jet so we can have both. Fantastic, Jeremy. And then last but not least, let's go Dr. Kirk. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Bill?
Well, Bill, since you wanted me to play me, and you know that my passion is employment of people with disabilities, I probably would have led with establishing that emotional rapport and just identifying that we both share that passion. But the description of the solution, really detailed, really succinct, really great, and definitely makes me want to dig in and find a use case where we can put your technology to use. So I'm good with let's go to the Capitol Grill near the Radio City Music Hall in New York. Let's go see Lady Gaga first and then walk over to the Cap Grill.
I'm digging that little Capitol Grill, a little Lady Gaga. That's super fun. Dr. Kirk will take everybody. We'll go to Lady Gaga. And Dr. Kirk, you know what time it is. This is typically the time in the show that I get to put my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about to see if he can flex his influence muscles or not. But since he's not here, Dr. Kirk gets to put me on the hot seat, which is a little bit nervous for me. So Dr. Kirk, what am I going to be doing today? And who am I going from Hello DS with today?
I would like Brandy to be a philanthropist who has focused her attention on U.S. philanthropies. And I want you to be Tom, and I want you to go Hello DS with Brandy about broadening her scope to think about doing work internationally and supporting his project in the Dominican Republic.
Ooh, okay. So, Brandy, are you up for playing this role with me? I will be in the seat that Bill and Tom were in. You'd be the seat that Dr. Kerr is in. I'm going from Hello DS with you.
Okay, this was a big scenario. I felt like I should have been taking notes, but I think I got it.
So, Brandy, you're a super wealthy philanthropist. You have a foundation.
I love this idea.
And you've been making gifts to support programs in the United States. And Bella is Tom, and she's going to Hello TS to move you toward broadening your scope to support international projects, and in particular his enablement sustainable project to support people in the Dominican Republic.
Are you up for this, Brandy?
I think I'm up for it.
All right, fantastic. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Brandy Shantz?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Brandy. This is Tom. Your team scheduled a 3-minute conversation with us today. They said that you were extraordinarily busy, but you were willing to find the 3 minutes on your calendar today. So I wanted to say thank you for that. And is now still a good time?
It sure is. Tell me what you got for me today.
Well, thank you so much. But let me ask you this, Brandy, just real quick, is what made you take this call in the first place?
I'm very interested in what kind of work you're doing internationally, and I want to hear more about some of the outcomes and how that's working for you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you for your interest. And I understand that you've been involved in philanthropic work throughout the U.S. For, the better part of a decade. What pulls you towards the philanthropic work in the U.S. that you've been doing?
I'd like to look at how we can help communities better, and how we can really enrich those communities and help them to grow and just be, a better place to live.
So I'm hearing you're very community driven, making places a better place to live. What got you started in philanthropic? Like, do you remember that first moment that you started getting involved in philanthropic work, or like that catalyst that was the precipice for all that you've done? Because I understand that you've made some extraordinary differences in the U.S. You've been involved in quite a few things and have really impacted some communities already.
Yes. Well, I first got involved because, I found an organization that was really doing great work that could affect people just like me. And I know that while I have, I face quite a few difficulties in life, there are others that are facing those same difficulties times 10, 11, 12. And it really takes a good hand up to help people to get to a better place.
I hear your heart. And Brandy, I know we only have, about a minute and a half left here. And so, you've been involved in projects in the US. Have you ever had any curiosity or interest in going outside of the US at all?
Yes, I have actually. Many years ago, I did some work with women in Afghanistan. So I've always had a place in my heart for work that's being done in various places around the world, especially involving women or people in need of a hand up.
Got it. Well, it sounds like we may have some alignment if that is of interest to you. Brandy, in our, maybe last kind of 45 seconds to a minute here, is it okay if I share a little bit about myself?
Of course.
And so I have been a licensed contractor since 1997, and we've been building wells in communities in 3 continents over the last decade or so. And this year we are focused on a project in the Dominican Republic. It's about 7.5 acres of hydroponic farming operations to sustain at least 20 families, to help education, train, produce fish, vegetables, and things like that that could go to market. And I know, you said that you had some interest in, your kind of philanthropic work is that, you're super interested in, things that impact communities. This definitely has an impact in the community. And I'm wondering if we could have a little bit longer of a conversation to see, what your interest may be or not in this project that we're doing in the Dominican Republic. How would that resonate with you or not?
I would love to hear more. Yes.
Okay, so maybe let's schedule, how about an hour lunch at a Capitol Grill tomorrow afternoon, and we'll chat a little bit more about what we can do in this project.
That's outstanding. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job, Brandy. How was the, thank you, Dr. Kirk,
Great
for the
job, Bella. Good. Nice work.
Did I model Sean well?
Well, yes, you did. Have you heard him do this before?
I might have heard about 1,350 times. I've co-hosted the show with Sean, so just a couple, but great job, Brandy. And how was that for you?
Oh, that, it was interesting. This is, I've done role play before in various capacities, but, it was a lot of fun to go through that with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And Brandy, how was your time on Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence?
Oh, it's so much fun. I was so happy when Dr. Kirk reached out to me. I'm very new in this space. I decided to start doing more work helping disabled persons after I myself became one in a very big way and sudden way. So this has been a lot of fun.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you, Brandy. Absolutely phenomenal job. And Tom, how did I do at playing you in Dr. Kirk's scenario?
I was just thinking, Bella, that you should have played me before I played me. So thank you for the lesson and what I should have done and how I should have started with questions and gotten in the proper groove before I spilled my beans.
Well, thank you for being so receptive, and that is what we teach here. So I might have had a little bit of practice, but Tom, you absolutely did a phenomenal job. You have an extraordinary mission. And how was your time on Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence?
It's wonderful. I'm so appreciative of the invitation and great to meet you guys. I put my telephone number in the chat, so if anybody does want to reach out and talk more, I'm happy to talk to anyone who's interested in working together that thinks we might have an alignment.
Absolutely. Definitely. Everybody put your information in the chat and connecting with one another. And let's go to our other participant. Bill kicked us off in that participant seat, which is not always easy. But how was your time on Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence?
Oh, I loved it. Thanks, Dr. Kirk, for inviting me. I'm not a good salesperson. I know I'm not a good salesperson. I love to chat with people about what I'm doing and what they need, and I like matching it up. But I'm not a good salesperson. I need other people to help me with that. So that's my experience.
Well, thank you for being here, Bill. And we like to say it's not about, sales, it's about influence, just getting to yes with heart. And you have an extraordinary heart. That was absolutely felt, I think, by myself and everyone. And so however we can support you in that journey, but absolutely phenomenal job. And thank you for being here.
Thanks, Brandy.
And let's go, Mr. Dave Epstein, Sedona Dave. How was your time on Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence?
Mind opening. This is my first introduction to this event, this format. Great to see Dr. Kirk here, doing his thing. It's so powerful. It's an amazing opportunity to meet. I'll say industry leaders may not be the right description, but people who are really crushing it, as I would say, really excelling and have a really big best foot to be putting forward, and connecting these ecosystems, these people, like-minded, like-energied people is it's a really important event that I'm taking very serious. I'm taking to heart. I'm taking this home with me, so to speak. A lot of resonance and a lot of appreciation for what Dr. Kirk's doing. Two strong thumbs up. Much appreciation from Sedona Dave.
Oh, thank you so much, Sedona Dave. Again, your heart is absolutely extraordinary as well, and it was fantastic to have you here today. Thank you. And let's go, Jeremy. Jeremy, thank you for being here. I know you've been here once before, but how was your time this time on Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence?
It's always interesting being a judge in these situations, right? And wanting to make sure that that I'm being helpful and really giving back to others. Every time I come on something with Kirk, it's always fun. And Bella, you make it as fun as well. But definitely always eye-opening. I loved watching or listening to the conversation that you were having, Bella, where it was really about let me get deeper with you and better understand. And I could hear that curiosity that you were bringing. So really amazing time. I'm always happy to help and join in any way that I can.
Well, thank you so much, Jeremy. Your contribution was impactful, and thank you for being here. And that brings us to the man of the hour, the man that caused this all to happen. Without him, we wouldn't all be here. And Dr. Kirk, how was your time on your show today?
It was great. It's my happiest hour of my month, as I said earlier. And you reached out to me earlier, Bella, to say Sean was doing what he should be doing, spending time on vacation with his kids. And would it be cool if you and I co-hosted together? And I think I said, yes, it will be fun. And it was fun. So I really appreciate you. I appreciate you, Sean, and Unblinded creating this platform and allowing me to use it once a month to accelerate what I'm doing by bringing great, I think Sedona Dave said like-minded. So bringing like-minded, heart-centered people together who are all trying to do good things in the world, and we can go much deeper, farther, stronger doing it together. And this is a great opportunity to bring people together. So I appreciate the platform and my privilege of using it.
Yeah. And Dr. Kirk, you did absolutely phenomenal co-hosting today. I will co-host the Heart of Influence with you anytime, sir. Absolutely extraordinary job. And for everyone, just final is we put some gifts in the chat for you. These are not like throwaway gifts. You're not going to end up in some, creepy funnel or anything like that. We don't do any of that kind of stuff here. These really are gifts for you. And I sat in the seat of Tom and Bill about 3.5 years ago. And I actually downloaded this book because one, is I thought I knew everything there was to know about sales and influence because I had already been teaching it for about a decade at that point. And I wanted to show Sean all the things I knew more than he did. And then I downloaded the book and I was like, ooh, I actually learned a thing or two because as you said, Bill, there's actually a difference between sales and influence. And what we cause here is influence at scale with integrity, with sophisticated individuals. So definitely download that book and have a conversation with one of our team members. They do a business acceleration session. Nothing is sold on that. It really is a gift for you of how you can implement this formula that Sean came up with 24 years ago on how you can use that formula to accelerate your business, your money, time, and magic. So definitely download those. And then we also final have an opportunity to join us every Wednesday morning for kind of like what we did here. We drop into breakout rooms. You get to meet some people that you didn't know, go from hello to yes and practice your introductions. And so definitely join us for that. And Dr. Kirk, any final from you before we close out on your heart of influence?
Just thank you everyone for your time and attention and your authentic engagement today. I really appreciate all of you. And I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.
There we go.
Your day.
And at the end of every show, we always like to say, there's so much opportunity out there, but we're all just a little blind and Kirk just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.